Hello and welcome to our first class of the new year. So happy new year, everyone. It is now 2023 officially. So hopefully your year is starting off good so far. So we're not too far in, but the new year or each day, maybe it hasn't started off so great and you're like, okay, well, I don't know about this year. There's always a chance to start new, start again. And so the new year always gives us that ability to begin again and kind of reevaluate what we want to bring into a new day, a new month, a new year. Usually around the new year or maybe around your birthday, depending on what time of year that is, it's kind of a nice time to just focus in on yourself and see where you're at, and see kind of, is there things that you like in your life that you want to continue. Maybe there is no new year new you, it's new year same awesome you. And you don't need to change a thing about yourself. We're here all about, new intentions is the theme of the class tonight. But if you love everything that's going on in your life, that is awesome. If you have some new intentions you want to bring into your space this year, that's what we're doing. So, and maybe it's something as simple as, inviting more space, just more empty space to just be, just sit. And maybe less busyness. Maybe you want to bring in more joy into this year and think about things that make you happy. Maybe it is, setting off a goal for more fitness into your life, just to feel better on the inside. And lots of different things. Maybe you want to read some more books this year. So if you want to share, maybe you have some new intentions for the year that you want to bring in. Maybe it's just, I have a meditation practice. I want to start doing that. I kind of got off the rails on my meditation. So I'm inviting more of that, more health and more fun. I like that. That's a fellow Elena. Yeah. Well, as you're all sharing, we have a great class for you today, and tonight, I guess, or depending where you are, maybe Singapore, I guess. I don't know the time. But we have 3 awesome recipes that are going to help set whatever intentions that you have for the new year or for yourself. And there are 3 intended ones. I made them intentionally for our intentions. So the first one is a body scrub. And sometimes it's nice when you're wanting to bring in something new into your life. Sometimes it's good to kind of just get rid of the old too. So that's you got to clear the old away. And sometimes a great thing to do is to literally scrub it away. So we have a couple of scrubs tonight that will help you clean your space as well as your body to invite whatever you would like to bring in, have that nice clean slate. And so we're going to make this awesome, delicious grapefruit and ginger body scrub that we can just scrub away our old skin and have our new glowing 2023 skin ready to go. And then we are going to make a bathtub scrub that we might need after our oatmeal scrub. But it smells so good. It's very uplifting and refreshing, and that also will help just get us inspired for the new year, whatever we want to bring into that. And then the third recipe that we're doing tonight is a frankincense and ylang ylang roll-on. And this is one of my favorite blends. It just really helps to ground us down and to get us in the mindset to get into whatever we want to focus on. So getting that intention set. So those are the 3 that we're making. If you didn't get a chance to peek at it, let's go ahead and make the first one. So first of all, we're gonna start on our body scrub. And all you'll need is a 4-ounce jar. This is an Aura Cacia empty container that you can also purchase. And what you need to do is take, let's see, it's 2 tablespoons of sugar. It's just your regular at-home granulated sugar. It acts as a nice natural scrub itself, an exfoliator. So it's a really gentle exfoliator naturally, sugar is, and you don't have to eat it. So if you're doing no sugar for January, don't worry, it's not going to absorb through your skin like that. And then we have our oatmeal too. So I also actually added that as well. We have 2 tablespoons of your granulated sugar, and then we have 1.5 tablespoons of rolled oats. Again, just your regular oatmeal in the morning. Oats, go ahead and you can either pulse that in like a food processor, the oats, just to get it ground up a little bit more, even a coffee grinder if you have that at home. Then you get that kind of the granules, but the oatmeal is really soothing as well as a nice gentle exfoliator along with the sugar. So I already have that in my jar, and then I'll go ahead and add our ingredients. So first of all, we are going to add our jojoba oil. See if we can get that on. I put the bright light on. Oh, that's funny. Okay. I'll work on that. So I like to just take the cap off the bottles. It makes it a little bit easier to pour into the jar, but you can always just squeeze it out too, depending on your preference. And we will go ahead and add 4.5 tablespoons. So this jojoba oil, jojoba is actually native to the Southwest region of the United States. So if anybody is in Arizona or New Mexico, they might see jojoba plants growing. And it is actually a liquid wax. So the cool thing about that is it's not your typical fatty acid like other carriers, and it really doesn't go bad. It doesn't go rancid. So because of that waxy nature, it just kind of sticks around. So this is a very long lasting recipe that you can kind of have sit around if you don't use it all at once. You don't have to worry about that. But as you're making products with jojoba, it's just really wonderful product to use. It's very nourishing to our skin, and it's one of the closest oils, even though it's technically a wax, but it's very close to our natural skin oils and our skin sebum. So it absorbs super easily into the skin, and it just leaves that nice fresh glow on wherever you put it. So we have our 4.5 tablespoons in there. Actually, I think I left out a half, but I'll go and add that quick. It's hard to count and talk at the same time. All right, now I have that. And then we're gonna go ahead and add 36 drops of grapefruit essential oil. And grapefruit is one of my favorite citruses. I just love the smell of grapefruit essential oil. It's not my favorite fruit, which is so funny, but the smell of the grapefruit essential oil from the rind just smells so delicious and uplifting. So we're adding 36 of that. So you have a difficult time telling when your essential oil bottle is getting empty. That's a good question. So because they are kind of dark in nature, we do have a little open window kind of in the corner of our bottles currently that you can kind of peek at. And if you hold it up to a light, you can kind of see where the level is at. And sometimes I'll tip it onto the side too, and then you can kind of see if it's down lower on the side. And if it's getting really, really low, then I'll just end up kind of popping the cap, where it starts to, like something like grapefruit, which comes out really easily, but then I can see it start to slow down. Then I will just take the orifice reducer off, the built-in dropper, and then just use the remaining drops into my product. All right. So we have 36 drops in there. Probably wasn't totally 36. I don't know. Hopefully you weren't counting too carefully. And now we're adding our 6 drops of ginger. So ginger essential oil comes from the roots or the rhizomes of the ginger plant. And it just really, helps us ground down. It helps us root down, just like the ginger plant, or origin, because it is a root oil. It really does help us focus and ground ourselves. And that's a really wonderful thing to put into our scrub. So it'll help center us and refocus. Okay, so we have 6 drops in there. And ginger is also really nice during monthly cycles. So during your cycle, maybe take a nice bath and use this lovely ginger scrub to help with comfort as well. So our last essential oil is our Rose Otto, which is just everybody's favorite, right? maybe I'm biased, but I guess they're all my favorite. That's the problem. But rose essential oil is just known to be very joyful. It helps to lift our mood and bring in that joyful spirit. And so as we're lifting ourselves up with grapefruit, getting that joyful spirit with Rose Otto, and then grounding ourselves down with our ginger, that's really just going to help us get that mindfulness back into what we want to be, again, bringing in, or maybe letting go too. That's a good process as well. Okay, so we're doing 6 drops of the rose essential oil as well. And this is already in jojoba oil, the Rose Otto. And you can see it's a little bit slower to come out because it is that jojoba oil. And I live in Minnesota, so it's a little colder climate. So it just takes a little bit longer. So that's the great thing, is you can actually use this rose essential oil directly out of the bottle because it's been pre-diluted. I can just put it into my hand and put it onto my temples, or just refresh myself on my pulse points on the go. But you can add it to your other body care products like this body scrub. I add this to my facial oils and facial serums. So there's lots of great uses that you can actually dilute it further or use it directly. So we're going to go ahead and mix this all together. Ooh, that's a good consistency. And it's a good amount of jojoba oil in there so that it'll leave your winter skin glowing. That's a nice thing. So you don't want to be too harsh on your dry winter skin, but we want to buff away that old 2022 skin. maybe it was a tough year still, and we just want to get rid of that. And so what you do is take about a handful at a time, or about a quarter size in your palm once you're in your bath or shower, and then just rotate around your body. And I usually do a clockwise motion. You can do whatever preference. And you can kind of work you can either go top down or bottom up, depending on what feels best to you. But during that time, it's kind of nice to just intentionally, as you're scrubbing your skin, just kind of intentionally think of like, what am I letting go? What do I not want to bring into this new month or new year as well. So that's a nice time to just physically let go of things as you're shedding your old skin, literally. And then you can just wash it, go down the drain, and you're just going to be a new person. So that's just kind of the cool thing about having a self-care routine, is bringing in a little mindfulness as well along with that. So that is our body scrub. So then you're going to have a tub maybe full of some oatmeal and sugar and all the old. So we want to scrub that away and leave a whole fresh clean space as well. And that's another really great thing to do this time of year. I kind of feel motivated to just like, oh, I have an accumulation of junk somehow that just keeps happening. And so I need to clean my space, get rid of, the extra things that I don't need. And also, while I'm cleaning my space, I might as well have some benefits of aromatherapy to help lift my mood as well as help clean my space. So this one really will help purify. Yeah, great question. So as long as you have hot water going down the drain, and it's a small amount of oil that you're using, and it's no more than any of the other products that you have, like shampoos and body washes. There's no issue with your plumbing. So, but just make sure you have hot soapy water as well, and that really helps wash everything down. So good question on about somebody who was worried about their plumbing. So now we're making our bathtub cleaner, and this has sweet orange, tea tree, and peppermint. Some great oils to help really cleanse and purify our space. I mean, tea tree is just that powerhouse cleaner. Right now, I already added, ahead of the game, I added 4 tablespoons of baking soda and 4 tablespoons of sea salt. And so again, those are just kind of natural, kind of scrubbers for your bathtub. And baking soda is a great scrub cleaner. And actually, I made a half recipe in this one. That might not be quite 4 of each. I think I did 2. So, but that's okay. I can add that afterwards as well. But let's go ahead. So I added the 4 tablespoons of baking soda and 4 tablespoons of the sea salt. And it do maybe like not like the coarse grind, the big sea salt, maybe more like the fine grind. It's just your regular table salt, what you have at home. That's what we try to do, is ingredients that you might already have at home. Then you just get a couple essential oils and you can make so many of your own products. It's just pretty easy to do. And we are going to add our 32 drops of sweet orange first. So we'll go ahead and do that. And sweet orange is awesome at taking any sticky surfaces off. So if you have kind of some soap scum and other things going on in this is a great kitchen scrub as well. So if you have sticky surfaces on your counter or in your tile, sweet orange will take off everything. So you do want to be careful and test your spots as well. So if you do have like high-end tile like marble or granite, test a tiny spot first just to make sure it's not going to take off your finish and all of that. But we do want to scrub away a lot of the stuff that we don't want again. So we're going to add, next, we're going to add our 20 drops of peppermint essential oil. All right. So peppermint is just super refreshing. It just makes the air smell so fresh and clean. That's the nice thing about peppermint. And then the last essential oil that we're adding is our tea tree. So tea tree, of course, purifies and cleanses everything. It's known to have all those antis that we can't necessarily talk about, but we know they're there. So tea tree is just a really well-known cleaner that you can add to your all-purpose spray to include in hand sanitizers. You can even diffuse this blend. Maybe you wouldn't put it in as many drops, but it's a great kind of cleansing and purifying and refreshing, a space refresher. Oh, I love that smell. Just kind of, you could even use this as, if you just did the baking soda and you left out the the salt, you can use this as a vacuum or a powder, carpet powder, and then you could just vacuum it up and your house will be smelling so fresh and clean for the new year. Oh, I love that. I'm so excited to not, isn't that funny? I'm so excited to clean now because of the essential oils. So they really just do lift your spirit and get you excited. Who knew I'd be excited to clean? Oh, how many drops of tea tree? 20 drops. So 32 drops sweet orange, 20 drops peppermint, and 20 drops tea tree. And then you just mix that all together again. I'm just using a chopstick. I somehow think that, I don't know, the chopstick works great for a mixer. So, or you can also shake it up here as well, like that. And then what you do is just take a tiny amount at a time, maybe about like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Again, you want to test your space first, but go ahead and just scrub away. So take you'll want to take like a warm, damp washcloth, and then you can scrub your tile and your bathtub, and it'll just be sparkling clean. And again, you have a beautiful new space to allow in the fun, happy moments of 2023. Oh, yes. So somebody has a question about drop ratios. Can you change it? You definitely can. So speaking of that, so for dilution drop ratios, if you kind of wonder how we get to the different drop amounts in each recipe is, well, first of all, essential oils are very concentrated. They're typically 75 times more concentrated than the actual herb. If anybody wants to guess, in one single drop of rose essential oil, how many rose petals are there, if on average? I don't know if we see any guessers, but I'll let you know it's 2,000 rose petals in one single drop of rose essential oil. So thousands, yes, you are correct. So it little goes a long way. And what we're gonna do is dilute it for safety, because a little goes a long way. We don't want to overuse it on our body. We want to be safe with it. Plus, then it can last longer and we can make more awesome products from it. So what I just did is our label actually pulls out. If you've never done that, I just showed you a new magic trick for 2023. So you can go to the inside of your label and you can see your dilution guide right on there. So tea tree, if you're using it on your face, you maybe want to stick with about 6 drops per 1 ounce. So that's a 1% dilution. 6 drops to an ounce of a carrier is 1%. If you're using it on your body, you maybe do 12 drops, which is the 2%. And then home care, you do 3%. And so when you're making your own body care products or home care products, you can follow that dilution guide and pretty much stick within to the 1 to 5% ratio, which would be 6 to 30 drops per ounce. And so, if you love tea tree and you really want that boost of purifying and cleansing, go ahead and bump up the tea tree. Maybe you don't love the sweet orange as much. You can take that one down, or same with peppermint. So go ahead and play around with it yourself as well. All right. So yeah, we are cleansing our body, we cleansed our space, and now we're ready to just be mindful and bring in the new year and set our intentions. So what we're doing for that is we're going to make a roll-on. All right, so what we're going to do is take our empty roll-on container. Again, Aura Cacia empty roll-on container. It has a little writable label on all of them too. So they're reusable. You can actually just wash these off and then put a Sharpie marker and label them again. You can label the top as well, but they're reusable over and over again, which is great. So you'll take your empty roll-on and we'll add the essential oils first, and then we'll add our grapeseed oil. So we'll add 3 drops of frankincense essential oil, and this one is in jojoba oil. So again, this jojoba oil it's diluted, so I can use it directly on my skin. And frankincense is just a wonderful healing skincare, especially in the winter. It just helps protect that dry skin. So I do use that directly with the jojoba oil. And we'll add the 3 drops. And then we're adding 1 drop of ylang ylang essential oil. So frankincense first, it just grounds us down again. It puts us into that meditative state. You know, frankincense essential oil has been used for thousands of years in spiritual practice. And for that reason, it really does help ground us down. It comes from the boswellia tree inside. It's a resinous oil. So resins are very slow oils. And so you know, you practice your patience too when you're using it, but it kind of helps to remember to slow down a little bit. We need to just slow down and invite some calm and peace into our life. And then ylang ylang is one of my favorite florals. It's a very sweet floral, so I know not everybody loves it, but I love it. And we're only using 1 drop, so it blends really well together because a little goes a long way with the ylang ylang as well. And then we're going to use our grapefruit again from our first recipe, and we're just going to add a drop of tea tree, or not tea tree, sorry. Too many essential oils tonight. We're going to add a drop of grapefruit. All right, and a couple extra for good measure. So we put in 1 drop because we know that usually a couple can pop out. And then you have a great roll-on recipe in the end. But yeah, this is actually just about 1/3 of an ounce. It's like 0.33 ounces, I believe. So, you know, again, 3 drops, or well, so 6 drops in a 1 ounce carrier. So 2 to 3 drops is about a 1% dilution already. So we got to be a little bit more mindful with our drops in our roll on. And then we have our grapeseed oil as our carrier. And you can't necessarily see the color as well, but we have these beautiful new labels. I just love them. And now with added color, so you can see that it came from the beautiful red grapes with the grape seed. So, and grapeseed really does have antioxidants from our red grapes that we source it from. So we've sourced for many years from the wine industry. So we thank you for, you know, if you're drinking wine, or if you're doing dry January, thank you for drinking your grape juice, because we're now sourcing from grape juice seeds as well, and so we take the seeds and we don't need, or, you know, it's like a secondhand thing, which is nice. So we work with other companies and farmers that produce wine and grape juice, and then we take the seeds left over. So that's also pretty cool. We really look for sustainable ways that we can help people and planet all over the world. And then every purchase actually goes to funding grants for women's organizations with our Positive Change Project. If you didn't know that already, that's a pretty cool thing. Actually, in 2022, we hit $1 million in grant funding to help better women's lives across the US and Canada as well. So yeah, it's just a kind of a cool idea that you're getting aromatherapy and the best essential oils you can get. And then you're doing so much good with them around the world as well. So now we have our beautiful roll-on. We're going to shake that up a little bit. And then I just like to put it on my pulse points, on my wrists, and then maybe behind my ears a little bit. And sometimes even like the tip of my nose, just so I can get that aroma. And then you just breathe deep. And what we're going to do is, to end class, we're just going to take a moment to all breathe together and just invite a little mindfulness. Oh, that's so great to see. You're craving ylang ylang. Oh, okay. How much grapeseed oil? Sorry about that. It's only about 1.5 teaspoons will fill the bottle. So The roll-on only takes about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of grapeseed oil. But let's go ahead and, so we have our lovely roll-on that can help get us in that meditative state. We'll take a deep breath together. Let out the old and bring in the new, whatever you want to bring into this year. So, and the nice thing about this, you can take it on the go. And so whatever your intention is that you're setting, if you want to add a new reading practice or meditation practice, or just inviting whatever you want, you can help this as a part of your routine. So before you go ahead and do that one thing, just go ahead and smell this, and it helps to remember your intention. The scent memory response is a very strong response for everyone. That's been scientifically proven. So that is a benefit of using essential oils with your routines in your daily life to help enhance, or to, really enhance your life and help your life. So use that to help set your new intentions. And then our next class coming up will be Thursday, February 9th, and it's going to be, of course, Valentine's theme. So it's all about just fun Valentine's gifts or Valentine's theme. We're making like a cocoa butter. My coworker Betsy is running that one, and it's just going to be so fun. So I hope you can join us for that. So stay tuned in your email if you're signed up for the Aura Cacia newsletter. If you're not, go to auracacia.com. Scroll down to any bottom of any page, and there you just put in your email and you're good to go. Then you'll know when the next class is. You can also follow us on all social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok now. And we're also on YouTube. And we're super excited about that because we're now putting these classes on YouTube for you to watch over and over again. So if you forgot which recipe you liked in this class, or you wanted to go back and make it again with me once you have all the ingredients, just go ahead and head to the Aura Cacia page on YouTube and subscribe so that you can stay on the know for our upcoming videos and classes and just fun things. So thank you so much for joining us. I am so grateful for you all to taking your time to be here with us and spend your evening with us. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful 2023 with lots of blessings and joy and fun and everything that you want to bring into the new year. So thank you so much, and have a great year and night.